Rocksteady Crew, Breaks Crew, Renegades, Massive Monkeys, Flex Flav, Havocoro, Furious Styles, LA Breakers, Skill Methods, Motion Disorders. What do these names have in common? Well, they helped to build their state, regional, and national scenes during their era. The question is, in the era of the one-on-one, two-on-two, and three-on-three, is the crew era dead? We linked up with Mijo and Alex of Motion Disorders crew to ask just that. Is the crew era dead? If so, who killed it? Why? Will it ever return? Stop and Chat, Episode 2, Death to Camraderie.
S.A.C, alright? My name's Moses. Alright, let's do it. Any double, make some back. 6 minutes, sing it out here.
Who wants it?
I'm pushing it. Motion disorders, Milwaukee. All right, buddy, go for yours. That's a beginning round. Motion disorders.
My name's Alex. I really never got a b-boy name, so I stuck with b-boy Alex forever. And I grew up with Mijo, Dizzy. We all grew up in the same neighborhood, and we basically started this crew almost for fun, right? Because I think we just motivated each other, and like you were saying, like about individuals versus crew. I feel like at the time it almost seemed like you needed a crew just because practicing by yourself and doing stuff by yourself, you almost kind of started hitting walls like where you wouldn't get better, and it was just easier practicing together and motivating each other and doing battles. And I mean, it just felt like we represented something more than individual and ourselves, and I don't know.
All right, and I'm B-Boy Mijo. My real name is Juan. I've never been called Juan in my whole life at all. I got the name Mijo because I thought that was my name growing up as a kid. My parents never called me Juan, and I was confused in school, and I thought that was my real name. So thanks to my parents for that. But yeah, representing Motion Disorders too, and thinking like Alex said, just growing up in the same neighborhood. Me and Dizzy are cousins. So when we met Alex through we used to go to the community center, and we used to like practice there in the teen centers. We weren't even teenagers. Well, I wasn't. And yeah, just pretty much motivating each other, just constantly piggybacking off of each other's advice, and then hanging out afterwards as friends. It just kind of just went forward from there. It would have been Insectocidal Mania, but and just real quick about that was Alex ended up drawing a logo for us, which was kind of like this ladybug that was like squid. And he put before it became Motion Disorders, we were wondering like what kind of names we come up with that's going to be a long-term name. Like we really were trying to get out there and practicing hard, and of course Chicago was always our rivalry, so we were like, we got to come strong. And then next thing you know, like I came up with all these different names, and we got together, me, Dizzy, and Alex, and we're trying to crisscross all the names and things like that. And I was like, well, what about Insectocidal Mania? Because I was thinking about the ladybug, and then they're like, that's fucking stupid. And yeah, and then from there we kind of just put Motion Disorders together, seeing that it kind of represented our styles. None of us were exactly the same style, and from there we just said, all right, Motion Disorders, and that's how it was born. 99.
For me, what I saw, I mean, basically there was nothing else other than Chicago and Milwaukee. Like,
Alex! Come on, Alex! What's the DJ back?
You need a posse the size of Nazis to attack this second one. And then it gets everywhere. But to the flea market was in my car pocket. Like one tip, the guy that was pocket. Only the fifth come in. And he told me this about it. 7 years old. The seven sisters and sex, love me some skin spray. I take the squad to the TV. Hit it on, smoke a cig, watch a little TV.
for us, we didn't have a lot of like, we had like 1 or 2 VHS tapes, like maybe like Battle of the Year. So everything seemed like so distant, where like Chicago was actually like coming to our events, and it just felt like that was our scene. There was nothing everything outside that I seen on VHS was like imaginary, like Legends or something. Like, but yeah, I mean, at the time it just felt like it was just that, and there was nothing outside of that, at least for myself. Like for us, everything was just like about beating Chicago. It wasn't even about like, let's travel, because we weren't even old enough to travel. So we're just like, to us was just like, let's just beat Chicago, because it was kind of like, it always happened every battle. Yeah, every battle was like Chicago in the finals and us in the finals, and that was that. It was like once every full moon there'll be another crew from like somewhere else, but it was like, I don't know, it was always Chicago and Milwaukee, and that's pretty much what our scene was. But it was pretty big when it started. It was like probably like 7 crews in Milwaukee. I don't know. It's a lot of people breaking back then. So I don't know, Mijo.
I feel like when we first started dancing and we were being brought to this community center, which is called Christian Center, every Monday and Wednesday they had practices there. So there was more. I could have sworn there was more than like. I mean, for me, I could have sworn it was probably like 15, 20 crews. Because there was like, everybody had their own ciphers. Like there was Matt Skills, NAD, and there was a lot of like Hmong crews that were just insane, like already doing power moves and doing just insane, crazy stuff. So the scene was more elevated at that time. And I feel like it was around the same area where a lot of like gang affiliation was going on. So we pretty much took our scene from a lot of the breakers that were dancing kind of stopped and started getting more into graffiti and more of like the gang related areas where they kind of just left the breaking scene itself. And then it became like where Motion Disorders was just kind of like the only crew that was there. Like people were there, but it wasn't consistent as we were. We were pretty much hungry to just go against Chicago. And I honestly thought that it was just Milwaukee growing up. Like, even with the VHS tapes, my brother showed me like Overflow, B-Boy Summer 2 and 3, and I used to just pop them in all the time. And I thought they were local. Because like, and my brothers, they didn't, like, they knew that they were from like California and the East Coast and West and things like that was going on. I just thought that was just the scene. So when I first got introduced to another crew was when our mentor at the time took us to Chicago, and we bumped into Smoke and Wicked from Phase 2. And I was like, wait, there's more dancers, and then like Alex said, we were too young to travel, so that mentor would pack us up in the van and drive us to Chicago, which we thought it was like 5 hours away, and it was really like an hour and a half hours. So yeah, the scene was very like it was great, small but great, and Chicago was always the ones that elevated us, and I'm pretty sure we were the vice versa. And it was actually the crews even before us that were going against each other in the 80s and in the early 90s, which kind of like passed the torch to us pretty much.
For more quality content from Beyond the Cypher with Illskillz, don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. Also, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond the Cypher. Let us know how we're doing down in the comment section. And to make sure you don't miss anything from the channel, smash that notification bell. We appreciate the love and support. Peace. Into the next episode.